Hi, it's Alexis. In this video, I'm gonna explain you the 10 mistakes you must not make during no contact. I know no contact phase is very difficult. I know no contact phase could be very challenging emotionally. I'm gonna explain you exactly the 10 things that I see the most commonly done by my clients or people that I speak with that are actually preventing them from getting back with the ex. Jingle.
igetmyexback.com. Everyone deserves a second chance.
The first one is breaking no contact, obviously. Before I explain this one, I want to remind you that I put together a quiz for you to know if you have any chance to get back with your ex. So even before thinking about implementing no contact, have a look and see in terms of likely, not likely, very likely to be back with your ex. It takes 2 minutes, it's totally free. The link is in the first comment. Have a look. Pause the video, have a look, click, have a look, click, have a look. You'll see the result in less than 2 minutes. So, breaking no contact. So you'll be very upset after you do it. It's a little bit when you have a craving for sugar or you binge eat, you have this craving, you want to cope with that craving. It's exactly what people do emotionally when they break no contact. Is they have this urge, emotional urge, and they want to cope with that feeling, this anxiety, this insecurity, and they think that by talking with the ex, it will help them fix this. And it will for 5 minutes. What's gonna happen is that after, you're gonna regret immediately and you're gonna feel really upset about yourself. So you have to be really disciplined. You have to keep yourself out of their life. You have to be really, really strict about that. And if you love them, you would do something difficult to get them back. And this is difficult. This is the thing, you know. Some people think, I love her or I love him so much that I'm gonna fight for them. Or therefore I'm gonna write the best love letter ever, or I'm gonna buy the most amazing gift. It is too late for that now. What you have to do is to really fight in terms of your emotion. That's the internal fight right now. You can do it, be strong, it's gonna be fine. It's gonna be fine. And the image I want to take here for you to really keep going is when you rip off a band-aid, you have two ways to do it. Either you do it slowly, like it's super painful, or you rip it off in one go really quickly. By staying in touch with your ex, what's gonna do in terms of your emotion, in terms of your well-being, is gonna be the same as ripping off a band-aid very slowly. The result will be the same, but the pain you will endure will be different. So by having this strict no contact in place, you will basically removing all those tension. And it's actually, if you think about it, that's why I love this rule, this framework is, it's very simple. You just have not to contact them. That's it. It's not about a spell, because I've seen that sort of my comments of a video, a spell that you can cast on your ex, or it's not a letter that you have to structure in a way. It's very simple to follow in terms of what to do. Then I know there's an internal battle within yourself. And that's why I put also this, let's have a chat. If you find it really hard, we can discuss ways and techniques depending on your situation, depending on your personality, to help you cope with that. Maybe you've been doing radio silence for no contact for 30 days and you want to know whether, what to do next. Have a chat with me. I have a 15-minute slot in my diary. I have about 10 slots like that for free. I love to have a chat with my community, so don't be shy. I don't bite. Second mistake, I'm in no contact right now. And feeling that it's a game, it's a posture, I'm still actually want to get her back, so I'm just pretending I'm in no contact. So really learn to be your true self. And again, if you're trying to get in touch with her, get in touch with him, it's gonna kill the mystery. And I say that very often in my videos, is mystery is what will create that attraction. It's how you seduce someone. Creating that mystery will also force your ex to be curious and want to know more about yourself. Third one, checking on your ex, probably the most common one. You're tempted to say like, hey, have you been? Talk to you in a week. You miss me yet? All these kind of things. It's artificial, it's manipulative, and it makes you look bad. I'm gonna go back to this manipulative thing. As soon as your ex realizes that you're doing something to manipulate them, it's almost game over. As soon as you see someone, think about this, as soon as you see that someone is trying to manipulate you, as soon as you realize that, whatever he or she says, you don't want to believe it. So it's going to be the same with your ex, and that's why no contact is quite efficient, because you can't really screw it up by talking nonsense or trying to manipulate them, because you're just respecting their wish, which is to have a break. And so your emotional response is something that you have very right to have, don't get me wrong, but you just have to keep it for yourself. Which brings me to the fourth point, is the over-analyzing point. I'll teach you a word I've learned that word today, preparing this video. Apophenia. So apophenia is a psychological disorder. I don't think it applies medically to people after a breakup, but it's a very normal tendency to see patterns, to see things whenever there's nothing. So people who have apophenia are like really seeing things that are a bit crazy. But the point is, all human beings, we like to see patterns. We like to see things. We like when, I don't know, our best strikers strike goals every match. We say like, yeah, I'm going to bet all my savings on this game. He's going to score another goal because he's scored 5 last matches. Or I don't know, because it's, apophenia works really well with betting in terms of that. And it's the same with relationship after a breakup. We see signs everywhere. We see signs when they post something on Facebook, on Instagram. We see signs, a song in the radio. Everything reminds them of us. And the thing is, it might drive you crazy to think like that. So my tip is for you to allow yourself 50 minutes. And you time it, really important, 50 minutes to think about the situation. Focus on the moment, and when you're done, you just say, I'm done. I'm stop focusing on that. It's a tip that I learned in a book called Indistractable, and it's basically whenever you have an urge to distract yourself, and it's exactly the same mechanism here in your brain. You just say, okay, I'm going to distract myself, but I'm going to time it for 10 or 15 minutes. And when it's done, I would have sort of nurtured or fed this craving for distraction, or craving for I don't know how you call that, distracting your brain to find signs, and then I stop and I move on with my life. Which brings me to the other point. Not really, but it brings me to the other points. Asking their friends about your ex again. Hey, I just want to know what she was thinking about you. The thing is, anytime you try to get information from their friends, so first you have to remember their friends are their friends. Even though you were common friends, if you're his best friend, you're a very good friend with them, they are still their best friends. So they will always protect them. They will always be their best, protect their best interest. So be mindful of that. Then the image you're going to show by doing that is really going to lower your attraction and make you look weak and pathetic, unfortunately, because you're going to be the needy person, and needy is not sexy, as you know. So be really careful with that. Some people, they crave for knowing what the other is up to, and they feel, I'm going to check on with friends. Be really careful with that, because indirectly it's going to create something an image that you don't really want to project to your ex, i.e. someone really keen, someone really needy. Social media, take your phone, switch off, uninstall Instagram, Facebook, please do. Here, I just found it on Google, but there are millions of them. Quotes that people put on Instagram, Facebook, sort of vague or metaphorical or philosophical quotes. Get rid of those quotes, please. That's useless, it's pointless. Again, it's gonna make you weak, it's gonna make you needy, it's gonna make you look, I'm really bad, I'm really negative, I'm really... It's not the image you want to project, so be really careful with social media. On one end, you don't want to project that, you don't want to share the whole, your sadness and your depression to everyone on social media. Even if you feel like that, I'm not judging. It's fine. Everybody does. We've all been in those situations. I'm not blaming you for feeling bad and depressed, but I'm gonna be really mad at you if you post things on Facebook and Instagram like that. Okay, be really careful with that. And then the other spectrum is too much on the other spectrum, it's when you post photo or video of yourself pretending to have fun with random friends or people you just met and like, yeah, they're my best friend and my best buddy and we're having fun. Because your ex knows you very well, so she or he will notice if you're faking it too much. So yeah, don't try to message your ex. Again, it's gonna be, as soon as you do that, you solidify your position in the backup zone. You know, it's when you're on the hook and they feel like, okay, they're so bad, they're so shit, they're nothing without me, I can get them back whenever I want. And this is the worst thing you could do for yourself if you want to get back together. Give them the breakup, let them feel the same loss that you feel. And it is the thing, they will feel the loss because when they decide to break up, they make a risk, they take the leap. And it's only when they realize that there's actually a proper breakup that they will wake up. Doing no contact to only get back with your ex. And again, it's really about your mindset. So no contact is affecting at getting your ex back. Don't get me wrong. And I think it's there are many techniques, but this is the most important one. You can add up other techniques, depending on your case. That's what I do with my clients. Because it also makes you stronger, as we discussed before. No contact is very easy to follow and it's going to really help you emotionally to really manage those emotions. And what's going on in your mind, maybe the voices I talk about in my video. So if you're interacting with them, again, as I said, it's like ripping off the band really, really slowly. Going no contact will help you to get rid of the band. Not controlling your thoughts. You control your own mind. Do your best to focus on other things and think of your mind or your attention as a bucket. It's empty when you wake up in the morning and then it gets filled with stuff. If you let it fill with negative emotions, with thoughts about your ex, then there's no space for other things. So one way is to distract yourself from those things with other things. Transform your mind. Fake it until you make it. Pretend that you're happy, smile, and there's actually a lot of studies about the behavior would drive your mind. It's called CBT. I can handle this. I can thrive in spite of this. I'm an attractive person. I can get someone else who is better than me. Maybe you repeat that in front of a mirror. Also, something that has been studied quite a lot, the method Coué, French guy, a little bit older than me because he was born in the 19th century, I think. Because the principle of Coué, let me just 30 seconds on Coué, is incantation. So the principle was to tell to yourself twice a day, I think, every day in every way, I feel better and better. Everywhere in every way, I feel better and better. It sounds very silly. It sounds like, okay, you're telling yourself this. He made studies about this, and it was more efficient than antidepressant for people who were really, really depressed. So yes, your thoughts have also an impact on your behavior, on the perception and your belief system. So as soon as you find and force yourself to think positively, you'll see that gradually your mind will be more positive. You'll see positive things around you. Exercise, do it at home, just smile. Just smile right now, like I do. Force yourself to smile and you see positive things and sort of endorphin in your body. That's how it works. Human beings are amazing machine. Not going out. Again, we're negative, we're like no contact. Okay, I'm gonna go no contact. I'm gonna go in the basement. I have, the whole Game of Thrones I haven't watched because my ex hated it. I'm gonna watch the whole series in my basement. No, have a good time with friends. Social interaction is so important for your well-being as well. Go out, learn a new skill, a new hobby, launch a project, write a book, create a company, be crazy. Life, there's no limit. Live your life, pursue your passions so that you have interesting things to say. It's also very interesting if you, let's say the example of Game of Thrones. Your ex hated Game of Thrones, so you couldn't watch it. Now you're in no contact. I'm gonna watch the whole seasons. Well, would that be interesting for your ex? Or option B, you go out, you meet people, you learn something new, and whenever your ex comes back to you, you say, oh yeah, I've learned to play guitar. Here's a song, here's a song. And actually it's gonna be too needy if it's like, here's a song that I wrote for you. But something along those lines, you get me. Then falling for loss versus love. So we want what we lost. or get rid of that feeling of loss. And we feel that this person, we are madly in love with them. And so we're just trying to get back to what we lost, as I said, because it was all about the day-to-day life, maybe the stature, the interaction, anything that you really loved about your past, but not necessarily about your ex. So maybe you just want to win this also. There's sometimes an ego playing there where they make the decision to break up and you just don't accept that someone would make such decision on your behalf, and that's why you're fighting to get them back. So my point is to really try to separate loss from love. It's also something that I assess in the quiz that I put together for you. It's 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 3 minutes, 2 minutes, 3 minutes if you're quick. The link is in the first comment of the video, and it will also let you know if you're trying to fight for love or fight for loss. Take care of yourself. Bye.